Cast, there is a big underdog story in Germany, the Bundesliga. Now, this is one of the biggest surprises of the weekend already. Already. All right. Augsburg handed Bayern Munich their first loss in the Bundesliga, and it was pretty. It was a beautiful sight to see. And Augsburg was not the lucky team here. They played really well in attack and defensively. Now, let me break this game down. All right. Bayern Munich had 70% of the ball, which means Augsburg only saw 30% possession. But now, this is the thing. For most fans, they just focus on possession. But that is not going to do justice to the other team, right? Because for me, right, it is not even good enough if you're going to dominate the game like that, 70% of the ball, and you're not being decisively clinical. I don't think you're the better team. I don't think you're the better team because here is my argument. Augsburg had about 16 shots. Bayern Munich had 15. And both teams had 6 shots on target, and both teams hit the woodwork once. So what was Bayern Munich doing with 70% of the ball? Of course, they're going to dominate passes. But if you're going to move the ball here and there, you're making obvious, predictable passes side to side. I don't really think you're being very productive, right? So if you look at somebody who is having 30% of the ball, all right, they're able to generate 16 shots, 6 on target, hit the woodwork once, all right, and they're able to score 2 goals and then walked away with all 3 points. That is a team that played very well. And of course, if you're dominating possession, it means the other team will have to defend. So how are you going to defend? So when a team put in a defensive masterclass that is very disciplined, all right, then that is credit to the defense. So it doesn't mean they were not a better team because they were defending, all right? Because we have to acknowledge the defensive side of the game as well. So they defended very well, all right? They won more duels than Bayern Munich, especially ground duels. They won about what, 50-something percent to 60%, about that. Bayern Munich dominated the area duels, but put together, they were going after Bayern Munich when it was necessary, okay? And then when you move away from that, they had, of course, more clearances. All right, they were compact. It means they were stable enough, and they did all that without having a single yellow card. So that is a team that is very disciplined. All right, on the ball, and especially if you are going to sit back there, try to execute your plan defensively without considering a yellow card. So it means they were patient. All right, they were stable enough. All right, they didn't lose their composure. So we have to give enormous credit to a team like Augsburg, right? And that is a wonderful game plan that was executed to the T. So again, you know what we do on this show, all right? We love the story of the underdogs. So let's go ahead and give it up for Augsburg. Congratulations again to Augsburg. And you all know, I like when the big teams are losing. I'm going to be honest. The only thing here is, it's not good for the sleeps. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, okay? But we move. We keep it moving.